people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, that people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about. There's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. That's a case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two.
Over the last 20 years,
the United States government
has wasted
$2.7 trillion in improper payments.
Just last year,
$170 billion were overpayments made to dead people,
criminals,
or those no longer eligible for government programs.
Over $44 billion.
$44 billion?
$44 billion.
Over $44 billion were made in payments that could be here or not. They just don't know.
Medicare and Medicaid are the biggest contributors to improper payments.
Under the Biden administration, $764 billion went up in flames due to many factors like inaccurate record keeping or outright fraud.
By taking a deep dive into these organizations, the DOGE subcommittee can effectively eliminate the money spent by unelected bureaucrats.
Putting trillions of dollars back in the pockets of American taxpayers should not be a partisan issue.
It's our job to identify waste, fraud, and abuse in the government.
We are done putting America last.
We're done putting America last.
We're done putting America last.
Yes, it was a song here on this channel last year. I usually tell people complaining like, this is what you voted for. Elon Musk just said it. You voted for this and they are ready to give you what you voted for. This is exactly what we are talking about. Taking a look at what is going on, Elon Musk and the whole DOGE team refuse to bend the knee. We have seen judges coming out from all angles, struggling to stop these people. Democrats coming out on the street to demonstrate, partaking to what they are doing. They are not stopping. And I'm not seeing them stopping anytime soon. Within the space of 2 weeks, how much money these people have saved, extremely concerning. This should be okay to everyone. People should be excited. If you see people panicking about this, they have something to hide. Like Elon Musk said here, they have some bombshell information coming out soon. Democrat should be panicking.
So I'm a federal worker and my promotion was officially canceled. But more than that, my coworkers yesterday, most of them were put on administrative leave for 30 days and then they're going to be furloughed. My name is miraculously not on that list for now, but I'm sure it will be pretty soon. But it's crazy. Everybody's losing their jobs out here, and we're not even certain that if the furlough ends that everybody's going to come back. It's just the sad reality of things. The dismantling of USAID has severely affected my job. My agency receives most of our funding from USAID, and I support personnel who are on the ground working in country for USAID. So who knows what's going to happen next? It's really sad.
We're 3 weeks into the second Trump presidency, 3 weeks, and tonight there are warnings that the U.S. is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis. Now, the first shoe on this dropped when a federal judge today said the White House is defying his order to unfreeze billions of dollars in federal aid, marking the first time that we've had a judge expressly accuse the Trump administration of ignoring a court ruling. And in a separate case today, federal employees here in Washington told a judge that the administration was defying another order by not reinstating workers who had been put on leave. Now, this all has prominent Democrats and many of the nation's top constitutional scholars declaring that the U.S. is on the brink of a reckoning. The Trump Justice Department says the president should have the authority to decide how to run the government and that these judges are overreaching. And some of the president's allies say the judges should not be judging any of the moves to shrink the federal government. That includes special government employee Elon Musk, who this weekend accused a judge who was blocking his DOGE team from accessing Treasury Department systems of being corrupt, with Musk calling for the judge to be impeached. Vice President Vance is not going quite that far, but made clear where he sees the judiciary's limits, writing, "Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power." The question tonight, of course, is who determines what is legitimate power?
This is laughable. When you take a look at this, Elon Musk retweeted this. This was a gem. Biden. Few months ago, the Supreme Court tried to block me from relieving student debt, but they didn't stop me. I have relieved student debt for over 5 million Americans. I'm going to keep going. Biden did not stop. So, when it concerns Trump now, there's a constitutional crisis coming up. When I look at the whole situation, the kind of hypocrisy I see with these people,
I think that Trump is on very solid ground with the buyout. I'm still a bit baffled by what the court is doing here. The presidents are allowed to dictate conditions of employees coming into the office, what they're working on. All of that is part of Article 2 powers of the president controlling the executive branch. I'm not, even today, certain what the constitutional problem is. You've got 65,000 employees who are told, look, we'll let you stay at home and look for a job as long as you agree to resign in a given number of months. They've agreed to it. The government's agreed to it. That seems to me to be perfectly within the wheelhouse of the president. So I think he's going to win on that.
DOGE has access to U.S. Treasury data. So there's a lot of personal data on there. I saw that 5 former U.S. Treasury secretaries put together an editorial saying you should not let those the other people unelected who aren't Treasury secretaries in there. Where do you think that stands?
I've always suspected that this was always about Elon Musk trying to steal my identity because I'm the man he always wanted to be.
Right.
But I think that the problem is that Musk is not actually reviewing this material. This is a read-only situation of people that he has selected. It is very hard to deal with inefficiencies and waste unless you can actually see the receipts, actually see what's coming in and going out. Now, there are some legitimate issues here for the court to address. There's the Privacy Act. Data comes with special protections. If you're going to introduce a new data system, there are protections for that too.
Yes, there is one clip at the beginning of this video. Elon Musk exposed there are people over 150 years old collecting Social Security. This comes after Senator John Kennedy exposed, according to Social Security data, there is 6.5 million Americans living today in America who are 1 and 12 years old of age or older. These are the things that people need to know, or Elon Musk need to expose. I see this differently, and I continue to ask myself, like, things like this are going on. Why are Democrats so offended? Like the other day, I saw Chuck Schumer. He created a website, like, if you see any fraud in the government, please report. They want to do the same thing Elon Musk is doing in a different way. Why now? Because they realize this will bring down them to the level never seen before.
This court has lost legitimacy. They have burned whatever legitimacy they may still have had after their gun decision, after their voting decision, after their union decision. They just took the last of it and set a torch to it with the Roe versus Wade opinion. I believe we need to get some confidence back in our court, and that means we need more justices on the United States Supreme Court.
There has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has already issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings.
You saw them complaining about this same thing they are doing today because they are Democrat judges. Obama appointed. These people are not complaining. They are the one now, applauding what they are doing. For the people that are following me for the very first time, God bless you abundantly. And please, if you see clips after this, that is for the algorithm. At a certain point, you can stop watching, but remember to always share the videos.
The biggest loser.
And I'm in shock.
To be doing, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
We're going to cut waste. We're going to get rid of the fat. Trim it is something people support. There is such a lack of transparency around.
To see what happens when you take a business approach to the government in the White House. We're seeing right now with this whole U.S. aid thing, where they're uncovering massive amounts of corruption and
their hard-earned money, and they want their tax dollars to look like it's helping the country.
And also, I got to say,
don't you?
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10 to her.
No. The EU does not treat the U.S. fairly.
This is the United States.
You're talking about a man who didn't become the president of the United States because of merit.
This lady is not unstopped.
Where awful things have happened.
And sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag are
quality and policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need.
He's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
All right, right now you're looking.
History, remember it.
We as a country about James.
Yeah,
and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii.
And then we watch news or talk.
Now look, I have a lot of.
So please.
I was being lazy on the couch like Friday night. Any more you would criticize?
Party. The Democratic Party have lied to us about.
It's not going to cut it. Well, as attempting to seek a meeting with the.
Dude, this U.S. aid thing is so much worse than people realize.
Letter in the New York Times.
Yet, so you have.
It shouldn't be controversial.
Welcome to the Daily Show. My name is Jon Stewart, and man,
The biggest loser on Team Chiefs.
How are you holding up?